Well, hello, my fellow car modelers. How you doing today? I just got a package in the mail that I wanted to open up with you guys. It comes from Salvinos JR Models. No, this is not the Kid of the Month package. It's a little too early for that. We just had that a couple weeks ago. I got something special here that I want to share with you guys that is very new and unique to our hobby. Wait till you see what they got in store for you guys.
Around here, it's always bumper to bumper. I gotta concentrate full time on my driving, so I use the racing version of the STP double oil filter. With a filter and a filter, I know I don't have to worry about the protection my engine's getting. Of course, I don't know what kind of traffic you drive in, but when I go to work, man, it's always rush hour.
Get filter in a filter protection for your car. The STP double oil filter.
So, let's get this opened. A lot of people already know about this if you follow them on Facebook. On Saturdays, they have, if you're not in the Builders Club, there is a show on Facebook that is open to the public, and this has been talked about. But a lot of you might not know about this, and it is something new. You might not think at first when I show you what I got, but look at this. If you're familiar with their charger, that's what we have here. So we have a charger body. Whoa. Get the paper off of it. Sorry. But it's petty blue. Pretty nice. But you are all thinking, oh man, wait a second. We're walking backwards. It's reminiscent of an old MPC kit. Man, molded in color. Are you kidding me? There's a reason for it. It's not all what they're going to. Their kits are still molded in white, but there is an option now for people who don't want to paint them, right? You've got a very, very excellent petty blue pigment into the plastic, into the styrene. But here's the really cool thing that I'm excited to try out. I've never ever tried. Look at these decals. Oh, I hear you all gasping. It's not what you think. These aren't peel and stick decals, my friends. They are, but they aren't. This is a brand new technology. Well, it's not a brand new technology, but it's a brand new technology brought into scale model car building. These are wraps, like a vinyl wrap. It's not a decal. It's not a sticker. It's a vinyl wrap that you go ahead and you put on to your already colored body, and you have yourself basically a very nice, I like the sheen too, very nice color. You have yourself a completed Richard Petty body. So this is something different. This is kind of like vinyl wrapping a car, what they've been doing these past few years as an alternative to paint jobs. So this is a vinyl wrap that you can lay down, maneuver. You've got a couple of tries to get it on, and then it sets up, and then it's solid onto the body. It's not anything that'll peel off afterwards. We're gonna go ahead and give this a try. That's why they sent this to me, to see how it works. And from what I have heard, a few people who have done this say it's pretty easy. It works out pretty good. I've seen some videos, but I want to try it out myself. So let's give this a try and see how it works.
You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube.
So I started prepping the car to get the wraps on there, and I went ahead and I put the front and the rear valances, or lower valances, on. So we got that all set. Got the hood, I got everything cut off and trimmed. I got to do a little bit of work on the hood there, get that cleaned up. And since we're going with pretty much not painting this body, we're going to use the existing blue that's in the pigment. There's just one little issue. I mean, very clean body, little places to clean up that will be, There's not a lot of flash on these. They're pretty good. And there's not a lot of parting lines. And it's just, you know, when you're going to be doing a model like this, there's some things you just got to live with. You know, you're not painting it. But right here, it's really the only issue. You see that? We've got a parting line. I mean, you're just going to have parting lines. It's just the nature of the beast of injection molding, plastic molding. And we just have that one line. It kind of goes across here. But what do you do if you're not going to be primering and painting and all that stuff, and you got to get that knocked away? And yeah, we got most of that could be covered up by the wrap, but it'll pop through the wrap. So check this side out. I already did it. Look at that. Nowhere to be found. And it's pretty smooth. All right, well, I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm going to basically sand it off. It's pretty simple. But what we're going to use is, I'm going to use my little, start with these 800 to 1000 grit pads. I've got 1500 grit paper right here, and I've got my polishing cloths that start at 3200, right? And then we've got 3600, and we've got 4000, 6000, and we will end with 12,000s. So I'm going to take those. They're all ready to go. Got them all in line. I'm going to put them over on the side over here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to sand that off and get rid of it. And by the time we get done, we will pretty much buff and polish it with the lightest paper and, well, cloth. This is really actually cloth, and we should be really good to go there. Because look, you see right there, it's pretty smoothed out. So let's go ahead and just start taking it down. And I'll tell you something, if you even wanted to go farther with this, you can do the whole body. You could polish this up and get it really gleaming and shiny. And if I had the time, I would probably do that. It would be pretty cool. So if you got this polished up, now I wouldn't use any chemicals at all. I would do it strictly with polishing cloths. Right now, let's just get that knocked down. And I'll tell you what, this is going to take some time, so for your viewing and listening pleasure, we're going to go ahead and just speed it up, and you just, you know, enjoy and kick your heels and tap your toes and whatever. Here we go. All right, so there we did with the heaviest grit that we wanted to start with. Again, this was the 800 to 1000 grit sanding pad. And we got that line knocked right down. You see how heavily scratched it is? That won't work. But I'm just kind of putting in a light, showing around, just make sure we have all of it gone. Looks like there's just a little bit here to do. Let me take that off. I think we're looking good. I think that line is gone. So let's go ahead, take some 1500 grit and kind of get all them scratches, start getting them scratches gone. Now I would actually, the line goes across here, and I would tape off things that you don't want to lose, and I'd work that line, but I'm just not going to worry about it on this build, just because this is kind of more of an example. I just want to show you how you can do this. So let's kick up the speed and the music. Here we go. just wanted to slow it down, stop. I had decided that, I hit this area, already got it pretty looking good. But I decided, I think I'm going to do with the polishing cloths, I'm going to take care of the entire roof. Maybe we'll get that roof to look really nice. So let's kick in the speed and the music. Here we go. All right, slowed it down a bit here just to show you. Look at how we've just finished with 6,000th and we're going to go into the 12. Look at how much shine is back. This should really finish it up good with this 12. So let's kick it in. All right, there we go. There, you see that? That line is all gone and we are looking really good. Now, the only problem is because we don't want to use any compounds because it could affect the adhesion of the wraps. You're gonna have some swirls. There's a bit of swirling, but actually it really is, you could really take your time and work it and probably get a lot of that, even more of that off. Probably if you were even to wet this and wet sand it, it might even come out even better. But you don't want to put any compounds down, just water, and you can really get this to buff out nice. But you can see how nice it's looking. And we don't have that parting line anymore where the molds break apart. So that's looking really good. No parting line. That just looks pretty cool, huh? And you could do the entire body with that method. And I would suggest going ahead and doing it wet sandy. You could probably get away with not having, you see, I have some swirls. So yeah, you could actually run over this whole body like that and you could really polish it up and make it look really have a nice shine to it, a good sheen to it where it could sit there and look really smooth and a lot better than if it was just the plastic out of the kit. Now, why don't we start playing with the wraps and see how they go on.
Brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Gabriel Shock Absorbers. No matter what you drive, no matter how you drive, there's a Gabriel shock for you. Gabriel, king of the road.
Alrighty, so let's start on the wraps. I think just to get ourselves the whole feel of this, I'm going to start on the hood. I think that's going to be the easiest route to go. Now let me suggest, go wash your hands before you start this. Get oils and anything off your hands. You want to be nice and clean. Make everything clean. So these pretty much just peel off like any other sticker would. And they remind me a lot, I don't know if you've ever used the stickers that are for RC cars to put on Lexan bodies. They're very similar to that. But I took a piece off earlier and mic'd it, and you don't want to get too much, you don't want to touch too much of underneath there because you don't want to get fingerprints happening. But you know, it's my first time trying it, so I'd take an X-Acto knife, make sure it's got nothing, no substance on it. It's just kind of lay it down like that on there. Sticking to my fingers. I think I'll go right there. Jeez. Doing everything you shouldn't do. There we go. That's probably the best way to start. Now, what I was saying was, I mic'd it, and it was like, oh geez, what would that be? It would be like, I think like 3,000. It's very, very thin. Real quick, like when I mic'd it, it was literally right, if you look at my gauge, that was it, where it was like about 3 or 4 thousandths. If I'm saying that right, I get a little confused here, but I think that's what it is. It would be like 0.003 or 004. So somewhere in that area. Very, very thin. So, like for this exhibition we're doing here, I would say, you know, it's just if you're basically doing a body like this, not painting, and putting these wraps on. But you can also use these wraps on a painted body, and I am going to experiment. It's not suggested to put any clear on these, but you know, I can't leave that alone, and I might have to give that a try. So I'm going to try to get across here and get that to where it goes right there. I'm going to have to tilt it towards me. I was looking through the camera. You got to get that nice and placed right. This stuff really sticks. But again, you can pull it up and off and try it and make sure you get it in the right location. And I'm just going to... Wow, that was quite easy, actually. I got that on there pretty good. Look at that. Holy cow. There's a little bit of runoff off there. I'll probably just cut that. Now there is a bit of clear that goes all the way around. If you want to get really precise and cut right along that, it's possible to do. You could probably do it right there, you know, with a nice sharp X-Acto knife and get right on the edge if you want to take that chance. Because you can see, you know, there is some clear that's showing. But if you rub that, Felix is coming in and checking on me, so we might get a little noisy here. But I got right up against that cow. Wow, that was really easy. That was really simple. I probably should have known. Jim said he could do it, so. And if Jim can do it, well. I'm using my not so sharp blade. Let me get my really sharp blade. That's why that wasn't cutting good. Get a sharp blade and just get across there and cut that access off. I kind of ruined it with that bad blade, but there we go. And what was really cool about that, there were some nubs from taking the hood off the tree. You can actually just wrap it around. Yeah, actually just wrap it around. I would do that. I wouldn't cut it, then you'll have a nice smooth edge. But that covered up right where the tree was at. How convenient is that? Look at that. Gee whiz. That's really good. Now you see you got little pimples there. You can actually work those out. Get something like, I don't know, if I had a squeegee, a little piece of plastic, you can work those out. You can see I'm pushing and forcing that air bubble out to the side. Really didn't get a lot of air bubbles under there, but you can do that. There's also a little trick. Don't tell Rick this. You can also sometimes just poke it, and you put a little slice in it, and sometimes that slice may go away. That's an old vinyl decal trick I've done, putting them on race cars and stuff. But on a little car like that, on this, you can kind of work it out. Now you got that hole that the air comes up. Sometimes if you have water will help. I might get some water and try that. I got most of those bubbles out. I still got a few. But heck, Holy heck. And I had something on there that was stupid. That right there is my mistake. I thought I had a clean piece and I didn't. There was some, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that off. So I wrecked that. That's me, not the product. But there you go. Pretty simple. All right, let's get real tricky. Holy mackerel, we're going to try to put that whole side on. That's one big vinyl right there. But I'm thinking it can be done. I saw Rick do it. If those guys can do it, I can do it. But you know what? I'm going to try something here. Oh, don't want to get it. Yeah, Felix. Holy cow. There we go. Just get it off there. I really would like to put this in my lap, but I can't, so this is going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. How do I do this? Trying to find something to get this thing propped up. This will be absolutely silly. Can I do it that way? Of course not. That was dumb. There we go. I finally found a use for this junk. There we go. Now, make sure there's no dust or anything on your body. Now, here we go. I'm going to start back here. I'm going to try to follow the line of, if you can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. This is hard to video and do all that at the same time, but if you line up the wheel well, I think we can. There's a whole lot of lining up the wheel well. Oh boy. It's a little too high. Again, good thing that these things are trying to find where the best point to get it started at. I think if we get this back up here, I think we should follow it by how it works on the B pillar. It's a good thing you got multiple tries. I need a third arm again. I think with some good practice you could really get this down. Are we doing it? Are we there? Are we there yet? Not a little crooked. Gotta try to follow the body lines is what we're trying to do here. There we go. I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay. Let's see with that. It's very flexible. That's a nice thing. Take my doll blade. Try to work this. I think I'm going to have to get this thing, there we go, I need to find where that part lands. That's going to help us out, where that part lands. All right. There we go. I'm a little bit too forward, I think. So look at that. Not an issue. If it's not quite right, peel it off. It's pretty workable. The whole thing came onto the body. So, whew. Wow. Might take a couple tries, but it's still pretty sticky, and it's still very, very usable. I keep getting it too high. I think I see exactly where it needs to go now. Trying to follow that body line. That's what I'm trying to do. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to follow that body line. I think that's a good point of entry right there. And follow that body line. Again, all this is very, very flexible. Oh yeah. Did I go off the screen there? I'm sorry. So I gotta concentrate on this. I gotta look at it. And again, everything. Ooh, yeah, alright. Okay. Okay. Get that dust off of there. Crumpling up the front there, got to be careful of that. See, if this was like stickers, you get these on and that's the end of it. So here you got multiple chances. Boy, I need multiple chances. I'm going to try something here. This might be easier. There. Can't be afraid to stretch it a little bit. There, we got it right to the, might have to trim some of it right there. There we go with that. There's that.
Great.
Here comes Felix. I had to. Yeah, I'm stickering up my car. And he's trying to bring me a Pokemon ball. Just big part of it is taking your time. Dad came and got him. He wanted to hang with Grandpa. Can you blame him? I'm working with a Richard Petty kit. Kids love Richard Petty. Felix ain't no different. You can see it overlapped, which is a good thing. It kind of overlapped here on that wheel well. You gotta really work it and work the air out, but it can. And I would really honestly suggest keeping like a wet rag or something, a little wet towel could really help out a lot. A little wet cloth, because you could definitely use some control with that. I'm sorry if I keep pulling it off screen or anything, guys, because I'm not watching the camera, I'm watching what I'm doing. And this is definitely something that takes a lot of patience, and you want to take your time with. Don't get frustrated. Have fun with it. Being vinyl, what I'm finding is it's incredibly forgiving. It's got a good amount of stick to it that you can stretch it and pull it and put it into where you want it, and it stays, which is a good thing. Look at that. There we go. Now, there we go. There's a little bubble there. I could probably have even gotten my placement a little bit better, but gee whiz. Got a few bubbles here. I think I'm going to try to work that out. I don't really want to peel it up, but whoops, I'm sorry. I'm gonna, because I got a real massive bubble there, so I'm gonna have to peel all this up. Wow. You know, as you work with it, it is really super flexible. It's real stretchy and really allows you to work everything in. And there, I got that one bubble out. There's a couple here and there. If you just keep working it, you can get them bubbles out. Now, from what my understanding is, and we really won't have time to find this out, but the way these are designed, how they're formulated, I guess, is you've got a lot of time here to work with them. You can spend, you know, your evening working on it. Really take your time, pulling it off, putting it back on. They say you got about 3 pulls, but I've done a few areas that I think I've taken it off more than 3 times. It's pretty forgiving. After a while, it starts to kind of harden and set up and seal onto the plastic, and that's what you want. So these won't peel off later. It's a beautiful, beautiful fluorescent, vermilion, whatever you want to call that. You just got, you can see where you got plenty. It goes over a lot there, so that why does it have to go out of focus? So that's cool. Then you can cut and trim. What I would do is, I think what I'll probably do is slice and fold around. I don't want to do that yet, because I want to, in case I want to pull it, I want to make sure everything's worked out real well. So what we're going to do here is I am going to continue to work on this thing. I'm going to put the rest of the decals on it, and we're going to come back and we'll show you how it ended up. But yeah, take a look. It really wasn't that hard. Just took some patience and some time. And what was really nice, I don't know if you've ever done, it feels like paint right there. If you've ever done any kind of like the peel and stick things on the snap kits and all that, it is not like that plastic, which is, I guess it's a vinyl plastic or whatever, those things. They're not flexible. They're very hard. They're very thick. This is very thin. Look at that. Look what I just did. I just took my fingernail and I just pushed that in, and it went right into the groove of the door. And there you got good door seams, which these things had a door that unbolted, so this was a separate panel. They weren't welded, like the Dukes of Hazzard said. That's kind of they were actually, per NASCAR rules, they had to be able to be bolted up, and bolted off and taken off. The doors, it could be a door skin they allowed after a while, but they had to be bolted and be able to be unbolted for inspecting the roll cage. So they were not doors welded shut. And there you would have your door lines. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm going to do a couple of my little tricks that are, I got some mystery air bubbles that you're really not supposed to do, but I'm doing it anyways. And I wouldn't suggest that. It's just me trying to get the air bubble out. You just work them out. They do. You get them, they move out. And it can, like I said, it's a lot easier if you have yourself some sort of little squeegee, or maybe a nice, like a piece of old cotton from a t-shirt, and keep it nice and moist and wet, and you could rub all these air bubbles out. The trick to not getting a lot of air bubbles, if you saw, when I had this all up, you work it, and you let it lay down. Like this, I'm going to kind of play with. I'll show you. See, look at that. I've already had that on for a while, and I can redo this a bit. You just go work it like this, and just keep going. Like, let me get a little piece of fresh. I keep a roll of toilet paper on my bench. I'm just going to use that, and you can just, which I wouldn't suggest toilet paper either, because it's kind of fibrous, and it's just what I have laying here. And you just work it, and you will get to lay down with no air bubbles. And again, I am trying, there we go. It's right where I want it to land. Beautiful. I got a couple of air bubbles right there. That's what you want to do. You want it to lay down like that. That's spectacular. Wow. That's pretty freaking cool. Everything seems to stay in place. I'm liking it. I hope you guys aren't bored. Alright, so there you go. That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna, off camera, work on this, get all this decals on, and I don't have a chassis to put this on, unfortunately. I'll find something so we can set this down and take a look at it. So let me get all this going for you, and we will be right back after these messages.
All across the country, people drive and smile, knowing that STP is with them every mile. STP Oil Treatment has this worthy goal, longer lasting engines, so roll under control. STP, STP, for folks who drive, that's you and me. There's a good reason, whatever season, it helps your oil do a better job.
Okay, you know, there's one more thing I wanted to do. I worked a little bit out. I got a lot of the air bubbles out. It's all nice and smooth and everything. I am going to go ahead and show you what my suggestion is, and I think Rick mentioned this once, of how to get it all worked around the wheel wells. I would just slice it, pie slice it, like that. Just go right there at the edge. And because I'm not going to peel this up, it's right where I want it. I'm happy with it. So at that point in time, you put all the slices in it and you just go wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around, and look at that nice wheel well you got. Now on the inside, anything that you would see from up here looking down, you could probably trim it up. You see that? You could probably go ahead and just trim it around there if that means something to you. But I would do that first. I wouldn't try to cut it and, you know, cut this. I wouldn't try to do this. I think that I'll try it on this one just for the sake, but I don't think that's the way to go, because I think you have a chance of getting some blue showing there. I already see it right there. I myself would just do what I just did with that one. But there we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead. I've been wasting enough of your time. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this on. And we'll see how it looks when it's all done. All right? We'll see you in a few.
Petty tries to go back down on the inside as they come out of the fourth turn. They only have about 750 yards to go. Oh! It's a down straightaway. They did hit. Petty smashes into the wall. Will he come across the start-finish line? He's going to win the race. He's going to win it spinning, as he, I believe, will take the checkered flag. No, he did not make it. He is less than 100 yards from it. Here comes Pearson. Pearson is going to try to make it across the finish line. Petty has his car going. Pearson's going to win it. Oh, Bastion Randall, he wins the race.
All right, you guys, I needed, without filming, to really concentrate and do the other side, because it's the next day, and this on pretty solid, hasn't peeled up, did great. But I didn't do a perfect job on the side because, well, it's the first time doing it, but also concentrating on filming. So I wanted to put the other side on without filming, but I'm not completely done. I thought I'd bring you guys in because there's a lot of important points. First of all, what I've gotten done, I pretty much have all this laid down now. It took me not even a minute. Once I knew what I was doing and I didn't have to worry about filming, I got placement down really good. And I went and looked at pictures of the car, and what I find is this part right here is right at the edge. That's where I kind of made a mistake on this side. I got a little bit too low on here, and that brought, because I had a problem with, you know, the oil filter or oil treatment. It's a little low. It could be just a snug higher, and looking at pictures, this font is a lot closer to up here. That's really the only thing on the print itself that if that could have been adjusted a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. But I got it up a higher. I think I'm only going to lose a little bit of the treatment right there. So this is, and you can also see I got it crooked. So I got this stuff straight, following the body line. That was the first place I laid it down. Once I got it, this is right where I did the first stick down. Everything else fell into place. Those are going in the right direction. This is all going in the right direction. And what I did with like laying it down like that, minimal air, but this, I'm still, let me peel this all back up. What I started doing is I'm not really working on the lower portion. And again, these are very stretchy, so you can follow the body line, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just up on the top. I went from all the way over here, and I'm just putting it all there, following that body line. And you do that, get that body line all down, everything else will fall into place. We've got, and you can get, I got a little bit of air in there, and get that popped up, push the air out. It's really laying nice. So, you know, it's that whole thing, you got to have a little practice bit. I'm going to actually get me another set of these, because now that I know what the heck I'm doing, I can lay them down fast and just do a nicer job. Look at that. So, still got some air bubbles to push out. Not an issue. Most of them are at the edge where it's easy to get out. And holy cow, that side laid down really nice. And you saw how fast I just did that. I'm not fumbling. I know what the heck I'm doing this time. It's like anything. You get a little bit of practice in. And I still haven't even taken my own advice. Again, a nice like microfiber towel or a old t-shirt, cotton t-shirt with some water would really help you squeegee out all the air and just help you lay this thing down. Take your time, but heck, I just put half of it down right in front of you guys. The other portion, once I got it like right here, that's where I chose to make sure I got all my areas where I wanted it. And this could even go up a little bit higher, so you could probably get this oil filter, oil treatment into frame a little better. That could have even gone up just a smidge more, but it's pretty much where it's at. That's I'm pretty pleased with that. That looks really cool. Wow. I'm gonna fix out all this other stuff up, just get that all done, and let's take a final look at it.
There can be no better car to show you the safety than King Richard Petty's. As I move along, I'm coming in front of a mesh effect. Now this here is fireproof. The idea is to stop a driver's head or arms being thrown out in the case of the car rolling over. But that rollover cage has certainly saved more lives than anything else I can think of in any category of racing in the world. There's a lot in safety in NASCAR. It's the safest type of motor racing that I know, and I would rather be in this car in an accident than any other I know.
Alrighty, boys and girls, there we have it. I wanted to put this on a chassis, but I couldn't find it. I'd love to have it sitting there, seeing wheels in there. But, yeah, I didn't have anything that fit. So, there we go. All in all, you get the overall look. I'll show you this side. This was the first side. I kind of got it crooked and schlubbed it up a bit. But after knowing what the heck to do, it was like lickety-split getting this side on. Literally, probably within a minute, I had this whole thing on. I just put the 43 on. That went on real simple. Again, lots of extra takes to put it on, stick it. You know, I always suggest, like right here, I stuck that, kind of found the center point. I stuck that right there where I could pivot it around, and it was only just sticking right there, and kind of stretched it and smoothed it all down. These go on so easy, and they're so forgiving, so playable. I tell you, this is a lot of fun. It's a fun, neat, different alternative in building a model. You want to do a quickie. It looks great on the shelf. You want to do it with your son or daughter, grandkid. It's fun for kids. It's a little fiddly. I mean, this is not like I said before, it's not like the peel and stick stickers that come with the snap kits that are really designed for the kids. This is really aiming towards the adult builder that wants to either just do a really cool, nice looking, quick job. They might be on the road. This is a great kit if you just, you know, you're in a hotel room, you're on a trip, and you can't do any painting. Well, here you go. This will take care of you. And the cool thing about these is this is like a peek into the future, because Salvinos JR Models, they are going to be coming out with their next gen cars, and the livery is going to be these wraps. They're going to do them in water slide decals where you can paint the body, or they're going to have wraps like this. Well, the bodies are coming in the color of the kit that you get of specific cars, and you can just either do these peel and stick wraps, or you can do the water slide decals. So they're still taking care of everything else. This is not eliminating water slides. It's just another great alternative to have some fun. And I'll tell you what, I will do it again. I actually really enjoyed this. I'm very, very pleased with the look. I'm going to do some experimenting with this because, you know, what the heck, and do a big no-no. And I am going to shoot some clear on these. I'm going to do a test shot on a piece of it first. I still think you could clear these and clear the body and with the right clear, and it looked really, really good. Again, you saw how I polished everything, and you would have seen that line there. So I really highly suggest you do what I did, and you can polish that that little parting line out, and it just makes for that to lay smooth and be smooth across there, because it will affect, even though you're laying the wrap across there, it will affect it. But look at how good that roof looks. And I sanded on that. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you made it all the way to the end. I know this is a long video. I wanted to have some fun with it, through a little extra fun stuff there in the commercial break, make it entertaining. And I did. I wanted you guys to see in real time me putting that whole other side on for the first time, and I wanted you to see all the mistakes I did. Go back and watch it if you didn't catch all my flub ups, because it's really important. Then that'll help you to do this really smooth and easy, because I tell you, again, no problems. This one on slick as a ribbon, looks beautiful, got all the air bubbles out. I might got a couple other ones if you really take your time and work it. Well, this is actually the good side. Look at how much nicer that is. These kits are going on sale possibly this week, I believe. You can check with Salvinos JR Models.com, and it will give you all the information of how to order them, or you can check with your local dealers that carry the Salvinos kits. I'm sure there's some that are going to be picking them up, because these are going to be neat. These are going to be real neat. Get them while they're there, because when they're gone, we're gone, dudes. They're only doing this once, but they're going to do other ones. You have to get the kit that comes specific with the blue body and the decals. Nothing sold separate. It is a kit, but by all means, pick it up. It's a lot of fun. It's a great alternative. And you can have a Richard Petty car all decaled up and ready to rock in a matter of, quite honestly, probably in 15-20 minutes, really. I think this is a neat new technology, an old technology new to our hobby, that I think is, it's a game changer. So you know what we say here. Go out and build model cars, especially Salvinos JR models. Why? Well, this proves it right here. They really, really are frickin' fun! Here's the producers!